My name is Adriana Serna, and I am CHTA's Marketing and Communications Manager. And I am delighted to bring you our first sustainability series of webinars that is brought to you by OBMI International. They are our strategic partner. OBMI is a global leader in architectural design with an experienced team of professionals who are passionate about the creation of successful places. At OBMI, every project is created with a great respect for its site, understanding that only with the utmost sensitivity to its natural environment, culture, and history will a site become a place with a story and a soul. They serve their clients worldwide through 5 centers of excellence, which specialize in strategic business sectors such as destination creation, urban lifestyle, island living, inside design, and green matters. Now, before we get started and I introduce to you our amazing speaker, I'm going to go over just a few rules for the webinar. This presentation is currently being recorded and it will be made available to you within 48 hours after the webinar. And it will, as well as the PowerPoint presentation that you are going to be viewing in a few minutes. Now, let me give you a little intro regarding...
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Let me give you a little bit of information regarding your speaker. Today's speaker is Danae Hines. She is the Director of Sustainability for OBMI International, and it's a leading Caribbean-based architectural and master planning design firm focusing on sustainability and the hospitality and tourism sector. Danae provides support for design, operations, and planning through her company's Green Matters Center of Excellence. Danae also serves as the Technical Director for the Caribbean Alliance for Sustainable Tourism, CAST. So I'm going to hand over the webinar to Danae. Remember to write down your questions, and 15 minutes before the end of the presentation, you will be able to ask Danae any questions that you may have. Danae?
Good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you're located today. Thank you to CHTA and CAST for hosting this, and of course OBM International, our strategic partner, for hosting these webinar series. I'm going to get right into it. Hopefully you all can see my screen. If you guys are having any issues, please, I guess, just let us know via the chat box so we can ensure that you're seeing everything great and hearing everything. As Adriana already introduced me, no need to go over this yet again. So our learning objectives today are here on the screen. I want you guys, hopefully from the end of this presentation, you'll be able to take away what the current climate of sustainability is within the region, understand how it affects your bottom line, identify the best tools for implementation of sustainability, and then pinpoint the resources that we have here at CHTA through the Caribbean Alliance for Sustainable Tourism for you, our members. So what's driving sustainability? That's the main question. This will give us kind of an update as to how we view the Caribbean and the climate of sustainability throughout it. We're seeing that governments are taking notice and action to combat climate change. The effects of our industry and activities are having a significant effect, and we're seeing that this is a trend worldwide addressing these issues of sustainability. I like to use an analogy for what drives sustainability, obviously using a car. And this is a perspective that was expressed by Tourism Intelligence, which is, by the way, a great resource and I fully suggest you guys looking it up. They like to consider the driver of a car as being proactive, not reactive, meaning they know exactly what they want to go for, and what their purpose is. They're trading in sea, sun, sand, and beach now for culture and content. They're looking for communication in the form of conservation. So after you have the drive in the car, there's the engine, of course, and the engine is technology, data and information in real time. We're using the internet more. We're seeing this trend of the Internet of Things continuously coming up as a new trend, and they want everything. Cars are becoming electric, and Wi-Fi is a staple in most people's lives. What are the brakes in the car for the average traveler? The environment, which basically tells us that they will not go where they do not feel as though there's a solid attempt and proof of conservation and sustainability. They're researching through search engines, which is technology, to understand the industry's impacts, And they're looking at this in terms of the countries that they go to, the hotels that they stay in, as well as the tourism enterprises and attractions that they choose to spend their money on purchasing. So who are the passengers in the car? The locals. They wish to experience and thrive with the locals. There's the experiential traveler that's out there now. Edutainment is huge, adventure tourism, and people-to-people interaction is expected. Thus, the investment in human capital and ensuring that training of locals within your tourism establishments in a sustainable manner is very important. What are the wheels on the car? The supplier. Where are your products coming from? The carbon footprint, reducing the impacts. Guests want more locally based goods, and alongside their well-branded, recognizable products, of course, but in most cases, they want something that's unique and sustainable that they can't get anywhere else. They're looking for something that is unique to that destination and unique to what the tourism enterprise has to provide. And what is the road? Where are they traveling? The socioeconomic factors are leading them. They're traveling the path that will be dependent on whether this country is thriving, not just economically, not just environmentally, but socially as well. They want diversity and equity throughout that country. So these are the tools that they're equipping the community with through their businesses. And they are expecting you as tourism enterprises to do the same thing within your various establishments. And this is what they're willing to spend their money on. Education-related concerns are on the minds of the industry as well as the customer. What's the buying power? Well, a couple of statistics show that consumers are focused on health and sustainability-based products and experiences. This has been rising, and the spending and the buying power has topped $300 billion. And also, 47% of design clients are asking their architects to implement green building elements, which is telling me that from the travel side, for new products that you're looking to develop and new hotel stock that you're looking to provide, they want that sustainability within their design, and it hasn't even been constructed yet. So it's very evident. So when I spoke about the human capital earlier as being a factor and in the decision of these travelers and where they're spending that $300 billion span, it does affect your bottom line. It falls within the social sustainability sphere. Within sustainability, we have the environment, we have the economic, and we also have the social, which often goes overlooked. So what is the social aspect? Your resources, your staff. When your staff don't have great working environments, this leads to reduced staff retention, high employee turnover, and that can cost you. That actually you feel it in your bottom line. So the cost to hire new personnel is at least 21% of an average employee's salary. So this is expensive. This is hitting your bottom line. So making sure that you're investing within your personnel and within your human capital, within your tourism enterprises, within your hotel stock is important. While I was in St. Lucia, I was working on a tourism benchmarking assessment a few years ago, and I asked them to evaluate what they thought was their greatest asset within their country as a selling point to increase their tourism. They said it was their people. So that goes to show you that the minds of the industry is definitely focused on it. The islands are saying that they recognize the human capital in the people, as well as the consumers are looking to make sure that we are providing socially just and equitable hiring and training purposes in sustainability for our human capital. And then the supply chain. You already heard me speak about that in the previous slide. Evaluate your suppliers. Don't be afraid to ask them. Remember, these are the wheels that move the traveler. It's often very little options because I know that we do import everything within the region, but the demand for sustainable products is high, and it's catching up with all of the other resources. So when you're looking at purchasing these products, I mean, most islands now have caught up and their government infrastructure is there where you can actually have or realize tax incentives for implementing sustainably based products and mechanisms. Take advantage of this. Because if you're not, you're spending, the average import duty is about 21% throughout the region. So you can actually put this back into your pocket when you're looking to purchase these new and improved energy efficient solar technologies, whether it be LED light bulbs or low flow toilets. The sustainability is catching up not only in the consumer demand, but also in the way in which these products are being created. Tell your story. Sustainability is important. There's a vision behind it. There's a quality behind it. There's a marketing strategy that you can build upon. I work in this element and I work in conceptual design. I get asked consistently to provide visioning and conceptual standards and brands for sustainability for a potential project. People want this. Developers are looking for it. Marketing personnel are demanding it, and they're expecting to see it throughout the entire value chain when we move forward and look at our tourism enterprises. You are your best asset. Bring yourself, give yourself that information that you need and give it to your consumers so that they understand, listen, wear your badge proud. I'm happy to be sustainable, and it makes great sense. Consumers are aware, and you'll get the bang for your buck if you definitely make sure that you spend some time and just put a little marketing behind your sustainability trends. So now let's look at some other cases, a bit more practical that you can relate to, I'm sure. Water savings. Water is scarce. That's another top 10 trending topic throughout the world when we look at sustainability and what we're going to be seeing in the coming year for the 2015 year. People are focusing on water shortages. This is real. This is alive. This is well. All right. So in this example, as you see here, just some quick, easy fixes, some low cost, no cost options for allowing you to see a bang in your buck. A hotel in the United States invested $7,000 in upgrading their fixtures. Their savings was $14,000 per month. That's less than 6 months payback period. Now, if that doesn't make economic sense and contribute to your bottom line, I really don't know what does. So if you don't have time to do it all at once, phase it out. Take it in strides. Say you're going to fix maybe half of your hotel stock, or maybe you're only going to do maybe 5 bathrooms as a test to see how your guests, interact with it. But do it. It's worth it. When you see the savings compared to the investment, it's a no-brainer. Also, simple things. Preventative maintenance comes up, especially in water. We have leaks everywhere. So have a great preventative maintenance program. Talk with your maintenance managers. Make sure that your staff are vigilant and just making sure, checking for leaking faucets. Sustainability is everyone's role. It's not just something to be put on your Department of Engineer or your housekeeping staff. Everyone throughout the organization needs to be aware, and that also comes in training and investing in your human capital. If you don't have money to buy low-flow fixtures, try considering a retrofit. There's a toilet, actually. There's a toilet retrofit. It's called Aquamizer. It's simple. It's easy. It controls leaks. It helps you to reduce your flush for your toilet, and it can be installed by a traditional handyman. You don't need to have the latest and greatest technological person come in and fly them in from China to install it. Someone from down the I can install an Aquamizer. So if I can install it, I'm sure you can, and those within your hotel can also do it as well. These are great and easy, simple ways to realize cost savings in your bottom line. Motion sensors, quick and easy. Put in a motion sensor to reduce the runtime on your tap, and you can save millions there. Let's go on to an energy example because we all love energy. This is a basic example of a hotel that is in Puerto Rico. They went and they did a test on implementing an energy management system. So that's what EMS stands for, so that you know. So most people don't consider, but smart technology is inherent in the way in which the millennial traveler operates. I mentioned the Internet of Things. Look it up. Go research it. You'll see that the Internet of Things is touching base in every single facet and every single industry, including sustainability. Energy management systems come in various shapes and sizes. They come with all the bells and whistles, from automation to sundials and smart plugs, shading controls, lighting controls. They even synchronize your television. But they can analyze the runtime it takes for fan coils to cool a room. They can seek to reduce and streamline this. You can evaluate the outdoor temperature to know how cool your room is most efficiently. But the most simple system can realize cost savings. This particular energy management system was installed basically to look at a preset schedule and occupancy sensor within the hotel rooms. The hotel was probably at about 65% occupancy, so not even full occupancy. All right. And basically what they did, they installed this system, and they see an actual payback of 22 months. They're saving a little over $110,000 per year within their energy bill just from installing a simple energy management system without all the bells and whistles. Okay, now that is a serious savings. And you can see their consumption in their annual kilowatt hours has definitely gone down considerably as well. So we're going to go through a lot of these types of examples, and we're going to show you these different things more in depth, from energy management to water savings, potentially landscape, all these different things. This is just a test so that you understand what are some of the successes in sustainability and what you can expect from this sustainability webinar series. We're going to delve into detail about how to perform an energy audit, what are the options for energy independence when we move forward and we see some of the other series that we have in place. So consider another thing that's not specifically related to this slide, but also in energy. We all know air conditioning. It equates to about 50% of a lot of our energy bills. So having energy recovery units in your rooms or within your hotels, that can lead to 30% increased efficiency within your system. And that has the possibility of providing a payback in under 3 years in some instances. So we all know that CFLs and changing from regular incandescent bulbs to CFLs, a phase lighting system scheduling can definitely help. Last year in Grenada, they were definitely assisting folks in giving them rebates or assisting them with funding for these. So check with your local hotel and tourism associations to see if they have any type of programs that they can assist you with in getting the capital just to do a simple phase out. So those are some brief examples. I'm going to tell you guys a bit about Caribbean Alliance for Sustainable Tourism and what we are. You see the vision here. I'm not going to read it. You can read it in your own time. But our main objectives is what I really want to focus. We have the first step. We want to become the first step resources for tourism enterprises. We want to obviously provide tangible results for you, the tourism enterprises. And we seek to engage in synergies and strategic partnerships that are already there, such as the Caribbean Travel Organization, as well as FEE, which we'll see coming up on tools for implementation. If you didn't know, CHTA signed an MOU with FEE, and they have available their Green Key rating system, which has guidelines that can tell you basically their standards are free of charge. You can just go to their website and download it. Always trying to figure out where to start. FEE is a great resource. Sustainable education, the Sustainable Travel International, their education program, completely free of charge. Go to their website, download their guidelines, and start looking at different ways that you can implement these easy systems into your hotel operations. There's also the Green Leaders program that was launched by TripAdvisor, another free resource that you can go on and check out. It's there for you. As you see down here, the power of the third party, getting a certification, getting verification resonates with 46% of consumers, with 59% saying that they want a seal or a certification, and that's going to encourage them to buy or to purchase. You have Travel Life, who's partnered with Rainforest Alliance, Green Key Global, Green Globe, which many of the hotels within the Caribbean have, EarthCheck, and LEED. So these are just some of the instances and the tools that we can look at and that CAS will have available to you so that you can contact us at any time. So what's your call to action? Invest in sustainability, tell your story, back up your claims. Use CAS as a resource. That's what we are here for. Contact us if you need guidance or direction for anything. We're here as a resource to serve you, the members. So what's going to be the next series? Well, on March 24th, we're going to go into depth about what it is to do an energy audit and what is the CHNAC program and how it can benefit you. So Loretto Duffy-Myers will be giving us that presentation. So we want you to stay tuned and make sure that you look out for that coming up in the near future. And I would like to thank you all for your participation today. Quick, easy ways that you can realize success in sustainability. And thank you, of course, to OBM International, our strategic partner, and our host for all of these webinar series moving forward. I hope you guys enjoyed the presentation, and we'll open it up to a few questions if you have any.
Thank you so much, Danae. Okay, now is the moment where you can all raise your hands, digitally speaking, via our GoToWebinar tool and ask any questions that you may have. You can also post the questions via our chat. I'm going to open the floor for any questions.
So I guess that means I did my job correctly. And if you guys you may have questions at the end. If you want to look through it again, you can always contact us here at OBMI@obmi.com if you have any questions related specifically to the presentation, or about the sustainability webinar series.
I see here, wait a minute, we have Pedro Moreno has a question. I'm going to unmute you, Pedro, so you can ask your question. 1 second, please. Go ahead, Pedro. Oh, well, okay, apparently Pedro is having a few difficulties working his sound on his computer, but we have a couple of questions here posed via chat, so let's see if we can address some of those. Anton Edmonds asked, are there too many certifications, costs, and overlap?
There is a sea of certifications, Anton, and that's a very good question. The thing is that you need to pick what's right for your specific tourism enterprise. There are some that provide you with extreme benefits. There are some that provide you with marketing benefits. There are some that specifically focus only on carbon emissions, and there are some that are free, low cost, and no cost. There are very many that overlap. The main driver or the main way to look at your certification system or a good aid is to see if they are actually certified by the Global Sustainable Tourism Council. They tend to be the leaders and advisors in sustainable tourism and international certifications worldwide. So you want to make sure that if you are going to go for a certification, that it works for your size as well as your economic capacity, but that it also has that global recognition to give you the marketing advantage that you're going to need. So I'd be happy to answer that question more directly, specifically to your needs, if you send me an email, and that way we can definitely go through what your needs are, and I can recommend the best one for you.
Awesome. And Danae's email is obmi@obmi.com. Okay, let's go to the next question. Ted Vogel asks, one of the greatest obstacles from my point of view as a supplier EPC provider for renewable energy is a lack of information and regulation of sustainability efforts in renewable energy throughout the region. Is it a hard thing to find? It is a hard thing to find the assets needed to understand the obstacles to enter the market, just as it is difficult to find the right assets in government to allow permitting. And, let's see, I'm sorry. Renewables can greatly impact OPEX for hotels, but the legislation is often mostly unknown, for instance, in the Bahamas. Or are there strict prohibitions against owner-operated generation schemes in other places, like Turks?
This has always been and will continue to be something that we're always going to face within the Caribbean, and this is something that we're actively working on. As I mentioned earlier, governments are starting to recognize the power of renewables, and they know that they need to change legislation to do this. You have places that are definitely actively looking at this. They're looking at investing in tourism master planning, and they're tackling government and legislation as one of those asides within their tourism management plan. And they're having their consultants actually speak with the government officials and understand what are the best case scenarios. Renewables are going to come into play, and they have to. The funding is always the issue that we have, but we're seeing a lot of new entrepreneurial investment capital firms popping up throughout the Caribbean, from Barbados to Trinidad and Tobago, and they're willing to put capital into these renewables, and they're willing to invest in entrepreneurial ideas that will help to spark this trend. So we're seeing it grow slowly but surely. It's obviously going to take some time, but it's happening. It is happening, and we all know that energy is a huge issue within the Caribbean, and it's something that we just need to be a bit more patient about, but it has to come from the supplier and from the tourism demand. From the tourism operators. We have to start including this in our call to action when we speak to our government officials and our leaders.
Okay, Arnold Solinger has a question. What about smaller properties? How can smaller properties adopt sustainability measures?
And this is one of the things that we're specifically focusing on with CAS. We want to focus directly on the SMEs, and we've actually spoken with this to a lot of the certification companies, a lot of the allied members within CHTA, and we're looking to source strategic partners that can work with CHTA and CAS specifically for small and medium enterprises, because we know that these are the backbone of the Caribbean. Not to say that our larger and our branded items aren't, but yes, we recognize that this is something that they definitely need to put resources in for, and that is going to be CAS's main objective, to make sure that we are benefiting the small and medium enterprises.
Okay, Pedro Moreno was unable to speak to us, but we have your question. How to contact PR Hotel to call and inspect the property?
Well, that's proprietary information in terms of the hotel example, but you are happy to contact Telconet. They are the ones who did the energy management system, and if you send me an email, I'll be happy to give you a contact with one of their Caribbean representatives, and they can walk you through that process and give you the complete rundown specifically about that specific hotel.
Okay, Pedro, her email again is obmi@obmi.com. All righty, our next question is, what is CAS planning to aid in this arena?
In which arena exactly?
Ted, ask another question. Ask a little bit more of a specific one. Let's see. Neme James, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing your name. How do you advise that I approach a management team that is always strapped for cash?
That's a very good question.
Excellent question.
I would suggest that you look at the no-cost, low-cost options. Start from looking at different ways that you can improve your preventative maintenance team. Look at different ways. Find your green team. Find your passion. Find someone who's willing to lead the charge. Every great opportunity and every great program starts with a champion. So you need to have that champion. And then look at the tools that are available right there, the guidelines. They walk you through the steps from how to start your green team and how to manage these. What are the low-cost, no-cost options? Looking at those can definitely have an impact. But if you're trying to find capital and cash, if you're located in an IDB country, Chinact is available to you. If you are a CHTA member, you can start right there. They come in and they do free energy audits for you, and they will be able to help you assess. And you can also look at the ESCO model, okay? These are energy management consultants where they actually pull their model from. They will go in and they will do your energy audit. They will assess your property, and they will then look to seek to put in the renewable technologies that are recommended, and they get paid off the savings so that way they're guaranteeing their work. So I would suggest that, obviously contact me. I can give you more information about that. Or if you're not in an IDB-based country where you have access to Chinact, maybe I can hook you up with some ESCO companies that may be willing to take a look at your property and see how they can look from an energy perspective of how to get you guys some much needed resources if you're strapped for cash.
That's wonderful. Okay, and Ted came back to us with a more specific question. He narrowed it down. What is CAS planning to aid in this area specifically, in the area of disseminating legislation information or of lobbying on behalf of pro-green energy legislation?
Well, remember when I mentioned that we're looking at synergies and developing partnerships? That will go with our partner in CTO. So we definitely want to talk to them at the government and federal level to see how we have been in talks with them to see how we can move this agenda forward and how we can partner and make sure that we're not reinventing the wheel but working together for one common cause for sustainability. The Caribbean region has been designated as a sustainable tourism zone, so it is very much on the minds and hearts of our ministers and our governments, and it's something that they are looking at putting in place. We're seeing energy white papers coming out. I know Bermuda has one coming out. It was recently released, and they have a comment period. So there's action happening. It's just obviously taking some time. But how does CAS specifically choose, or how are we going to tackle it? From the private sector, we're going to make the demand come from the tourism enterprises, and from the public sector, we're going to call on our amazing, amazing strategic partners in CTO.
Well, that's it. We're wrapping up our first sustainability series webinar. Thank you so much, Danae, for coming and giving us all of this wonderful information. Thank you very much, OBM International, for your support. And this is the end of the webinar. We will be posting this on CHTA's website, which is CaribbeanHotelAndTourism.com, in our education section. And we give us 48 hours to do that, but you will be getting the audio, video presentation as well as the PowerPoint. Thank you so much, and everyone have a wonderful day.